Hello, welcome. I'm Chandra from Rekindle Wellness, and today I'm recording a video for the summer solstice. It's a Yoga Nidra meditation. If you haven't done Yoga Nidra or practiced it before, it is a deeply relaxing guided meditation. My voice will be your guide all the way through and safety net for you, so I'll be here by your side throughout the whole practice. Now, Yoga Nidra is a deeply relaxing practice, so we will work through different states of consciousness throughout, and we'll do that through several steps through the meditation. It's a place where we might find ourselves sort of half awake, half asleep, you know, that place in between. And this is called a liminal space, a little bit like sunrise and sunset, dawn and dusk, the horizon between the sky and the sea, and also between our breath, the inhale and the little pause at the top of the inhale and then the exhale. And so it's that kind of magical place which has often been times where people would meditate, where it feels more special, perhaps where it feels as if we can make that connection inwards towards our truth and towards our soul or our spirit, connecting inwardly. So I would like you to just find a comfortable place that you can position yourself in your home, somewhere where you won't be disturbed, and also having with you anything that you think you might need to make yourself comfortable. Now, often in Yoga Nidra, because you're here for quite a long time, generally lying down, but by all means sitting up, perhaps with your back against your bed or your wall. You could even do this lying down on your bed as well, or maybe your back against a sofa, that kind of thing. So wherever you think you'll be comfortable, or generally, as I said before, lying down. But you might find you want to pad with a folded towel or blanket just underneath the back of the sacrum, so that the bones in the back of the spine, the lower spine there, don't feel uncomfortable when you're lying on them for a long time, because you don't want that discomfort to distract you from going inwards into this lovely, peaceful, relaxing meditation. And also having maybe a little something quite thin underneath your head is an option, a very thin cushion or folded blanket, if you feel that your head is tipping back too much and you need a little support there. And then you can have your legs extended. You could have the knees bent with the knees together and the feet a little wider in a constructive rest pose, if that suits you better. And then covering yourself up maybe with a blanket or wearing a warmer layer and some socks. So again, you have enough warmth, because quite often, even on a warm day, when you're doing Yoga Nidra, your body temperature is going to drop a little bit. So you might find that you need that just to give you that support. So giving you this short moment for you to settle yourself before we start, and I'll tell you what we're actually going to be focusing on today in this practice, what area or theme I'm looking at today. So as I said before in the beginning, it is about the summer solstice. So we're bringing in that energy of the summer, the fire, the life, everything bursting to life, and bringing that awareness into us. So maybe we've got some tiredness or fatigue left over from the winter, from COVID, all of those sorts of energies that we might have been left feeling anxious, tired, fearful, and just really celebrating how it feels when we feel full of life and vitality through the summer. And we're going to bring that into our rotation of awareness, and then to the last part where we're working with opposites and images in this meditation. So slowly just begin to settle yourself, finding your comfortable position and putting on any layers that you need, and making sure that there isn't any other movement you need to make before you settle. It is fine to move throughout the practice. You are more than welcome to move, but just keeping it small and smooth and not jerky, because you will disturb the level of consciousness that you may have dropped into. So Yoga Nidra is a hypnagogic state. As I said before, it's about that midpoint between waking and sleeping, a little bit like when you're lucid dreaming. And so it's a way for us to access those deeper layers of ourselves. Things that maybe we wouldn't give enough time to normally, or we wouldn't go in deep enough. But if there's any time that something feels a little overwhelming, perhaps you feel a bit emotional, and things bubble up to the surface, you could just wiggle fingers and toes. You could blink your eyes open if you need to, or just bring your attention back to your breath. So hopefully all settled now. There is something that I sometimes bring into the Yoga Nidra, and that is a Sankalpa. It is your choice whether you add this in or not. It is a positive statement for you. Something simple like my life flows with ease and grace, or I am living my best life. Something like that. Or maybe some heartfelt wish that you wish for yourself to bring into your life. So something that you would like to bring in that is a heartfelt desire or wish, a positive statement for your life. And imagine yourself actually living that now in the present tense. And then just repeating that to yourself 3 times. And if nothing comes to you, don't worry. You could use the one of my life flows with grace and ease, or you could just focus on your breath. And when you've repeated that 3 times to yourself, just bring in your attention to where you are in the room and the sense of your body on the mat, and feeling the back of your body on the ground, and feeling that support, knowing you are safe here and I'm by your side through the whole practice. And then beginning to just bring awareness to the sense of hearing, what you can hear outside of your room. Maybe you can hear the sounds from my room. There are sounds coming in from outside. And now bringing your attention into the room and to where you are, and bringing those sounds, perhaps from your own space, perhaps from your own body, tummy rumbles or your heartbeat. Maybe you can hear that. And then as you soften the eyes, just allowing your gaze to go inwards. Perhaps the eyelids are already closed, or maybe you are softly allowing those eyelids to relax. And just invite yourself and give yourself permission to come into this space with an open heart and mind. And noticing around you the warmth of the temperature of the skin, your skin, and the air around you. And then begin to bring attention to your breath. Bring awareness to the breath. And notice the sensation of it coming in and out of the nostrils on the inhale and on the exhale. And feeling that gentle rise and fall without trying to change the rhythm of your breath at all. And perhaps now closing the eyes fully when you feel ready. So if there's any quiet moments throughout this practice, do not worry, I'm still with you. I may just have left you there to go within a little bit more. And if you feel at any time that you drift off, that's absolutely fine. If my words you lose track of and you just hear them sort of softly, vaguely, fuzzily in the distance, that's fine. That means you have gone into the right state that you wish to be in for this meditation. And if you fall to sleep, that's also okay, because our bodies think that the minute we lie down and close our eyes, it's programmed as that time for us to sleep. So again, your body will take and your mind will take whatever it needs from this practice today. So I'd like you now to bring attention to this summer season, and today we will be inviting in the radiance of the sun and the fullness and life and energy that is all around us at this time of the year. As we come into that seasonal shift, transitioning into the summer. And I'd like to bring your attention to your breath at the center of your chest. At the heart, see your heart filled with the dazzling light of the sun, radiating outwards into the space around you. And just checking whether or not you can sense that or visualize that. And then once you have this dazzling sunlight at the center of the heart, begin to bring your attention to the base of the throat and just imagine placing a small circle of sunlight at the base of the throat. Then moving from the throat to the right shoulder and visualizing sunlight at the right shoulder, right at the top of the shoulder joint. And then moving to the inside of the right arm and down to the inner elbow and placing a golden disc of sunlight at the elbow. And reaching down to the wrist and placing that in glowing sunlight. And into the palm of the hand. The whole hand is glowing. The tips of the right thumb and the tip of each finger pouring out with sunlight. And then passing up the outside of the hand, the wrist, the elbow, and back up to the shoulder. The whole right arm glowing and relaxed and filled with warmth. Now taking your attention over to the left shoulder as you move across the body. And moving down, placing the left shoulder in a disc of sunlight. And making your way down the inside of the arm to the elbow. And placing a small glowing sunlight there. Reaching down the left wrist, placing sunlight around the wrist and into the palm of the left hand, the tip of the thumb and the tip of each of the fingers on the left hand, the whole hand radiating sunlight. Then passing up the outside of the hand, wrist, elbow, and up to the shoulder. The whole left arm is relaxed and filled with warmth and the glow of the sun. And from that left shoulder, move back to the light at the throat, to the heart, and moving this thread of awareness down from the heart to the navel, and feel the navel filling up with the light of the sun. And as the light pours into the navel, it begins to spread through the insides of the body. The light begins to move down to the right hip. And this right hip is wrapped in sunlight. And moving down the inside of the leg to the right knee. And surrounding that knee with the warmth of the sun. taking that journey down to the ankle, wrapping it in sunlight, and to the foot, the top of the foot, the sole of the foot, the tip of the big toe, and the tips of each of the toes on the right foot. Then moving from the toes to the outside of the foot, the ankle, the knee, and back to the right hip. The whole right leg is relaxed and full of warmth and light. The whole right leg is relaxed and full of warmth and light. And then coming across to the left hip and wrapping it with sunlight and moving down the inside of the left leg to the knee and surrounding this left knee with warm glowing disc of light, journeying on to the ankle and wrapping this left ankle in pure sunlight, and on to the top of the foot, the sole of the foot, the tip of the big toe, and each of the toes on the left foot, glowing with sunlight and warmth. We move from the toes back up the outside of the foot, the ankle, the knee, and back to the left hip. The whole left leg is relaxed. The whole left leg is relaxed and filled with the warmth of the glowing sun. Moving from the left hip, we move to the pelvis. As we drop down into the pelvic bowl, we fill it with light, this large joint filled with the glowing sun, bathing the pelvis with its healing glow. Then wrapping the warmth around each of your internal organs, each one radiating light, and then moving that light up each disc of the spine, every vertebrae, until the whole spine is glowing, from the tailbone up to the back of the neck. The back of the head is now filled with light. Coming to the crown of the head, with light pouring in through the crown, flowing down through the body, filling it with more light, more sun, more warmth, more joy. Then coming down to the forehead, and the sun glowing off of the forehead, the right eyebrow and the left eyebrow, the right eye and the left eye, glowing discs around the eyes of sun, the tip of the nose with a little glow on the end of it, the right cheek and the left cheek, radiating warmth, the mouth, the top lip and the bottom lip, the sunlight pouring inside the mouth to the teeth, the tongue and the jaw. Then bringing the light and the warmth of the sun back to the throat. The whole head is now relaxed. The whole head is relaxed. We arrive back to the heart. The whole body is relaxed and radiating the light of the sun. The whole body is relaxed and radiating the light of the sun. Now let go of the rotation of the body. And at the heart now, again, coming back to that glowing center of the heart, we feel the breath entering and leaving, expanding and releasing. As we follow that natural rhythm of breath, the light and the warmth surrounding the heart, take your awareness to the number 21 and start to count down from 21 on each exhale till you get to 20, and then exhale again to 19 and continue until you get to 0. And keeping with that count. And if you lose count, do not worry. Just go back to 21 again until you come back to 0. And now just beginning to let the awareness of the breath go. Now I invite you to feel the warmth of a summer's day on your skin and the cool, gentle breeze moving wisps of your hair around your face. Take a moment to look down at your feet. Do you have shoes on? If you do, what do they look like? Or are you barefoot? What are you wearing? And where do you find yourself? Maybe you are at the beach on a summer's day, feeling the sand light between your toes. Maybe you are standing in soft, cool grass, perhaps under the shade of the fruit trees, perhaps with baskets ready to fill, picking fruit. Or perhaps you are standing in a field of sunflowers with their heads reaching up to look at the sky. And you could see sunflowers for as far as the eyes can see. Or you choose any summer scene or memory that comes to mind. And just take the first thing that comes to mind. Don't try too hard to find something. And if nothing comes, just relax. Keep coming back to the breath and following my voice. Now, as you notice the scene around you unfold, you become more aware of the colours, the textures, the smells and the tastes. So explore what is in your scene. Is it warm there or cool? What feels light around you to touch? Is there a lightness in the air or clouds in the sky? Notice what feels a little heavier. Perhaps if you were fruit picking, your baskets are filled with fruit. Or if you were on the beach, maybe you were making sandcastles and the buckets are full of wet sand. And I shall leave you for a short while to explore your summer scene. All the colours, the images, the textures, the smells, the tastes that are around you. And I will call you back in a short while. as you explore your summer scene, perhaps now you begin to notice that the daylight is beginning to be a little less as we get towards the end of the afternoon, and the light is beginning to change as the sun lowers in the sky. There is still the warmth in the air of this long, beautiful summer's day, and the sun begins to change into an array of glorious colours as it shifts into the sunset. As it transitions from daytime to evening into this liminal place in between. As you watch the sunlight gently disappearing and the twilight beginning to arrive. And as things become a little darker, as the light fades, you know that the sun is always shining, even when we can't see it. It's always there, giving life to the planet, always offering nourishment, hope, upliftment, time for growth. It is time now to return from your summer scene with hope in your heart, a little lightness in your step, re-energized, rejuvenated and restored, with healing on a cellular level. And so begin to bring your awareness back by noticing perhaps the sounds again outside of the room, and then begin to notice the sounds back inside the room. The sounds of your heartbeat and maybe your tummy, and the feeling of your body touching the floor and the Mother Earth of the floor beneath you, rising up to meet your body. Begin to feel your body arriving back into this space, and your breath moving in and out of the heart space. Feeling that rise and fall again. And starting to take some deeper inhalations now to just bring you back into the present and a little more awake. Deepening each inhale and letting out a soft release through the mouth. And now perhaps before you move, begin to just repeat yourself those affirmations or heartfelt wishes, your sankalpa, that maybe you made at the beginning of this practice. And just reminding yourself of those intentions. Just repeating them 3 times to yourself. And then when you're ready, begin to create some movement between the fingers and the toes, and turn gently to one side, drawing the knees in towards you and resting on the side for 2 more rounds of breath. And then softly beginning to bring yourself back up to a comfortable seat. As we end this Yoga Nidra today, you have been practicing Yoga Nidra. Yoga Nidra is now complete. And taking hands together in prayer, giving them a little rub. Just generating a bit more of that sunlight and imagining it pouring out of the hands still. And then bringing the hands gently to the face, to the eyes. Big breath in here. And just visualize yourself filled inside and out with all of that beautiful glowing summer sun and energy. And thank you for joining me today. Om Shanti, peace. From my heart to yours, from my inner light to your inner light. Thank you. Goodbye.